We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
Hello and welcome to High School Famous!
Yay!
Yay! It's
Happy
another
New
one.
Year!
Oh yeah,
Woo!
first of the new year. First podcast
Matt, we are
of the new year.
close to 1 year of having a podcast in the world.
In the world. Yep. Cool.
So
Enthusiasm dead.
so far, I don't know how you feel about 2022, but so far it's starting off with a bang.
I don't have anything fully to complain about as of yet.
You don't?
Not yet. I mean, it's day 2 at the time of this recording of 2022. So yeah, nothing really to complain about at the moment.
Well, I've got a couple things to be upset about for the year of 2022
Already?
I mean, one was technically at the very, very end of 2021.
But it did it kind of come into 20, like it took place over the midnight period?
Well, no, but maybe it actually. You can't really say it affected 2021 because it was like literally, it was either the very last day or it might have been. Yeah, I think it was December 31st.
Okay.
National treasure Betty White has passed
Oh
away.
yeah.
At the age of 99. And I was excited seeing those advertisements for her 100th birthday thing they were going to do, which I guess they're still going to do.
Probably.
Yeah. But it was also announced that Joe Gatto is going to be leaving the Impractical Jokers.
Oh, really?
So he's not returning whenever it comes back this next time around.
Are they're gonna keep going though without him?
That's the plan.
I figured they would just say done then.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I don't remember if they finished season 9 or if they just did their mid-season break for season 9.
Okay.
But I know they were picked up for season 10. So if anything, I'm guessing they're at least going to finish through season 10 maybe, or maybe they'll just finish off what they have left of season 9 to do, and then they'll just call it after that. I don't know.
What's his reasoning for leaving?
So I guess he and his wife are splitting up, and so he's saying he's using this. He's wants to be more focused on like successful co-parenting and stuff, and having more of his life focus on that than. I mean, maybe that was part of the cause of things. Was maybe the show was just. I mean, their entire relationship. He's been on the show, so I'm sure it's
right.
You dedicate way too much to the show.
Possibly.
I mean, maybe this is an attempt to sort of save things. Maybe he's just like, well, I'll leave the show then if we can save things. But he said in his Instagram post that they're amicably separating, so he's going to focus on being a good co-parent, and so that's why he's leaving the show. And then the rest of them all kind of posted the same response message, just saying, we're going to continue on in a new chapter of Impractical Jokers without him. So who knows what that will look like?
Yeah, we'll see. Because I don't know. Because I haven't watched it for a long time, so I haven't seen like the last few seasons of it or whatever. But Joe is always my favorite. So
yeah, mine too. And he's
how it continues.
I think he was very heavily involved with the editing, and like he did a lot of work on that show.
Yeah,
and honestly, when one guy's out there doing their turn, most of like the crazy laughter is coming from Joe. All the supporting laughter that make it seem more funny than it is sometimes. But
right.
So we'll see how the energy, what the energy level is.
Yeah,
it's just the 3 remaining. I don't know if they'll replace him with someone else. I mean, that would be a weird.
That would be weird
move to do. But who knows what they're planning.
Bring in Brian Johnson.
He'd bring a weird, like, demented level that that Joe definitely didn't bring. So, I mean, they could do that.
Maybe they would have more guests come on and stuff and do more stuff with guests.
That's what someone said. They were like, well, this could be an opportunity where, like, maybe each week they have a new sort of fill-in guest to just sort of fill in that 4th spot.
I think the only way that would be tough is because they clearly, they film so much stuff and they don't necessarily like film.
Oh yeah,
these 5 things are going to be for this week. These 5 things are going to be for this. It's just like they film a ton of crap, then they're like, all right, let's edit these ones together and that. So to have it like special guest week each week, then they would have to focus more on these are the specific ones we're going to be putting up every single week. And
the only way that would ever be something that would work is if they're out on the road somewhere, like they're in Florida or they're in here, because they know they're going to be there for X number of days and they're going to shoot an episode's worth of stuff in that amount of time. Unless they have people just randomly come in to film random bits, and they will like ultimately influence the outcome of an episode, but they won't be in the full episode, or they won't be one of the people who can lose or be punished. I mean,
like a Joey Fatone, or that one time Sal brought someone in from from the Harry Potter movies. I forget who he was. I just watched it. They were at the Jurassic Park stuff in Universal Studios or whatever, and Sal brought on one of the guys to play for him, who was from the Harry Potter movies. I don't know what character he plays or what his name is anymore, but that was the one time Sal brought in like a ringer. Every other time it's been Q, has been Joey Fatone. Right. Interesting. Yeah. So those are your 2 big things for the beginning of the year?
That's my yay 2022.
Yeah. Also, I've got nothing.
Also, I've been I got introduced a couple years ago to this long form improv show that was on Mondays at this theater called Show X. And obviously things shut everything down and they couldn't do live shows for a long time. And I guess they've been doing live shows again since June. But I finally decided and thought to go back a couple weeks ago. And they announced that they're ending Show X. And so tomorrow is the very last one they're ever going to do. So that's an end to that as well.
Interesting.
So I'm going to try to make it out to that and see the final one.
Yeah, I mean, so far the only thing that's happened is Chicago finally had its first kind of decent snowfall.
No?
Yeah, we got a couple inches, I think. They said 5 to 9, and we only got like maybe a couple, which, I'm kind of more happy about that than.
I think it's rare that they'll be right in there, but they always seem to overshoot the prediction for.
I think it's a safety thing, because it's like, hey, guess what? Expect really bad stuff, and then when it doesn't, they're like, everybody's a little bit more relieved.
And they try to make
we're gonna get 4 feet of snow, and it's like, oh, we only got 1 foot of snow. 4 would have been bad, but 1, I can handle 1.
I love 1 foot.
Just 1 foot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's so far. That's all that's really happened this year so far. Is there was a snowfall. But it's only day 2.
That it is.
So plenty of time for more snowfall.
There's plenty of time.
Just things.
And anything else to happen.
Just things to happen. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can kind of say that about life in general. There's just plenty of time for things to happen.
That covers it all. You can't deny that.
Yeah. I mean,
you could if you're bold.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on when you die. If I die tomorrow, there's not plenty of time.
But so there's not plenty of time for things to happen with you after that. But you just said time for things to happen. So it could.
Yeah, in general, yeah. Though, the Earth isn't going to end anytime soon.
Right.
Not within a few lifetimes, I think.
Here's
I don't know
the
how
thing.
much time is left, but
no, we can just keep considering the Earth as the planet that inhabits humans. Like humans can die off, and Earth will still go on, and some other species of being will thrive after that. Just like the dinosaurs, there will be time after humans, but we seem to think that once we're gone, the world is over.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Do you think that humans will die off before the sun implodes or something drastic happens that destroys the planet?
Probably.
You know what it'll probably be is that we will just make the planet uninhabitable for ourselves. We'll end up killing ourselves off, and then the planet will have time to heal. And, it'll basically just kind of, wasn't it like Futurama that did a thing where they would go forward in time so far that everything just kind of repeated itself?
Oh, did it?
I think it was like they went forward in time, found out they couldn't go back in time. It was I can't remember exactly. I think I've only seen the episode once, but they found out that if they just kept going forward in time, everything would just come back around again, exactly the way it came around the first time.
Good.
Except for it was like
I think they said it was everything came around again the exact same way, except for it was like slightly up and to the left or something. So like they ended up being positioned slightly differently within the space.
But still, everything else was the same.
Yeah, but otherwise it was like a full repeat. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen like that, but I'm wondering if, as far as like, you know, life happened and stuff, then like, you know, dinosaurs came and then like dinosaurs died off and then like something else took its place and then that died off and then something else, you know, it's like things kind of just do that. So I'm wondering if that's what'll happen, is that the humans will have their lifespan and it'll, you know, end either catastrophically or just however, just die off slowly. Yeah. And then something else will come and take its place. It's always like a slightly higher life form. Just kind of keep replacing.
So this is an interesting thought then. You know how people will say that there's either, you know, there could be ghosts or like you come back in some other form, like your energy still transfers off into something else. If there are such things as ghosts, you would think that there are dinosaur ghosts.
Dude,
right?
The earth is flooded with ghosts if ghosts are real.
Exactly. There's been more ghosts than more people have died than there are alive, and so there would have to be ghosts of every single type of animal or being that's ever lived on the earth and died on the earth. So why are we only interacting with human ghosts? And very few, and they're all from the Victorian era. They're all wearing Victorian type clothing, right?
Maybe it was something about the Victorian people that it was just like they're the only ghosts. They did something. They did.
None of them got into heaven. Yeah. They're all stuck here.
They're all just stuck floating around.
With unfinished business.
With just opening cabinets and pushing chairs around.
Yeah.
Like what kind of unfinished business do these ghosts have that they're just pushing stuff around, dropping my cereal box on the floor,
you must maintain a slightly annoying mess.
Yeah, turning my faucet on.
Oh, geez. Telling people to get out.
Yeah.
What
thing. I think I saw a TikTok video of somebody who's just like, it was something like ghosts, like what ghosts be like or something like that. And he was just walking around his apartment, just violently opening up cabinet doors and like pushing chairs around and stuff. And it's just like, the hell. And I think I saw another, like, I think it was a Corridor Crew where they were debunking paranormal videos on YouTube.
Okay.
And they're just sitting there like, what kind of ghosts are these that they're just like, oh, I need to open this door. Oh, I need to do this. I need to push this thing so it moves a little bit. Like,
so I mean, there's one idea that they're mustering up the energy to be able to do that, like in an attempt to try to communicate with someone, maybe. But I mean, most likely, when these people were alive, there was something called writing or some type of, like you could just try to muster up the energy to write something down, versus no one's going to know what you mean if a cabinet door gets slammed shut or a plate gets dropped on the floor, or something like that, or a door gets closed,
Yeah, you have the ability to move objects. Like say the attempt is like
a pencil is very lightweight.
Exactly.
Not a lot of energy to move a pencil around.
Say it's like their purpose is they want this person out of, say, their home, because a lot of quote unquote paranormal activity happens when you're renovating a space, right? They hate renovations. Yeah. Ghosts hate change.
Yeah, well, because
this is the thing. Ghosts hate change. If anybody gets anything from this tonight, it's ghosts hate change.
Ghosts are crotchety old people. They're just
But so all that energy. What you want to do is you want to get somebody out of your space because you don't want them to change your space. You liked your home the way it was. I mean, you died loving your house so much that you decided to stay there in death.
Right.
And you want somebody to get out of your space. And you try to tell them that by just slamming stuff and making noises and not like, write a letter,
that's the thing.
let the write something on the mirror when the mirror fogs up during a hot shower session. Hot
is that just a regular shower?
Yep.
I've never referred to it as a session before when I'm
you're not doing it right.
No. But that's there have been stories about that, right? Where something's written on the mirror, or is that not? So I guess
so. Yeah. Usually, like says, like I know what you did last summer or something.
Yeah. Very, very, very vague, very threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Tell the authorities? Like, what's a ghost gonna do if they got something on you?
Yeah.
Like, all they could do, they could barely shut a cabinet door. Are they gonna march their way over to the police station and file a report?
If the movie Ghost tells us anything,
they can help make pottery.
It's that they can help make pottery, and then they can scare somebody so much that they just kill themselves or turn themselves in.
I'm sure that happens in the movie Ghost.
Yeah, pretty much. He gets two people killed kind of on their own accord by scaring them, like pushing. He figures out how to push people as a ghost.
Oh, he's a bully ghost.
He pushed this guy, scared him to the point where he ran into traffic and got killed, and then pushed the other guy so much that he
fell down the stairs,
fell through a window, not like all the way out through the window, but like halfway through the window, and then the broken piece fell and stabbed him to death.
Oh, guillotine style.
Yeah, and then he got taken away by demons.
I remember the scene where the guy gets
spoilers.
I remember the scene where the guy gets taken away by the demons. They look like all shadowy, and they just sort of pull him out. They pull him under the ground.
It's the coolest effect in the movie. They're just really weird, creepy looking.
Does he get to the point where he's figures out how to shake someone upside down to make their lunch money fall out of their pocket?
No, you're thinking of cartoons.
In general.
In general, all cartoons. Yeah. Every cartoon does that.
Every cartoon. Has anyone done a spoof on Ghost? I mean, I'm sure in spoof movies they've done Ghost-related clips or scenes.
Lots of people have done like the pottery scene,
right? But has there been a full-on like spoof movie for Ghost?
I don't think so.
That'd be kind of fun to tool around with.
Yeah, because I know they've done like spoof movies of like Paranormal Activity and stuff.
Well, I remember there's that Family Guy scene where they're doing it's like Ghost. Ghostbusters shows up.
Yeah, they're doing the pottery scene, and then the Ghostbusters bust in and suck them up into the thing.
Proton pack. Or put him in the trap.
The trap.
Yeah. Next time we have Adam on, I should have him tell you about his proton pack, by the way.
Oh God, does he have oh yeah, he did. Didn't he have like a whole thing where him and a bunch of people dressed up as Ghostbusters and stuff?
Well, I went and saw the new Ghostbusters movie with him, and he and his daughter were in the brown jumpsuits.
That is fucking lame.
they
I hope you listen to this, Adam. I hope you listen to this and you know how fucking lame you are.
They had their own names as name tags on the suits, and then Adam, I forget if he ended up either buying it or making it over time, but he has a very hyper realistic proton pack that has the working buttons and it lights up and all this kind of stuff. It's like,
does it shoot anything out of it?
It doesn't shoot anything out. I think that's where some lights come into play, but yeah. So they were dressed up, and I forget there was someone else there too, and there was another guy that was dressed up. I think three Adam, another guy, and then Adam's daughter were all dressed in their suits. And
so it's like pre-Winston, early movie before Winston joins, so they didn't have the black guy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Halfway through the movie, a black guy comes into the theater and sits down with you guys, all dressed up as well.
That would have been. And they hired him for something. All right. Should we get into some January holidays?
I mean, that's the best transition I've ever heard.
Great. You don't watch things. Okay, so this is the first one makes complete sense. It's January 1st, and it's National Hangover Day.
Yeah.
But you would think that would follow a lot of other days across the whole year.
It should be the day after St. Patrick's Day. I would say more so, because St. Patrick's Day is like specifically a drinking holiday.
Yeah. If you have no Irish in you, are you allowed to celebrate that anymore?
You know, I don't represent the Irish community fully. Like one of my legs, maybe
Irish,
might be Irish. So personally doesn't offend me if other people celebrate it.
Does it offend your leg?
It has kicked people before.
Oh, okay. So if going off of that energy, I would say maybe someone who's fully Irish might have an aggressive response to someone else celebrating their holiday.
I mean, possibly. I think the Irish people are a very, warm and welcoming people. Well, so they're like, come and party with us. Celebrate this with us.
Here's a question. would it be necessarily an Irish holiday or a Catholic holiday? It's a St. Patrick.
It's an Irish Catholic holiday.
Got it. So you have to be both.
If you're Irish, there's a chance you're Catholic.
Right. You could have been raised that. You could have been raised that way. You might not necessarily consider yourself Catholic today.
Yeah. That's why I said there's a good chance that if you're Irish, you're more than likely Catholic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No choice.
But if you're Catholic, you're a terrible person. I don't know.
Whoa. We support all cults.
Yeah, no, yeah. Ooh. It's less of a cult, and I don't know.
I know.
It's not very culty.
I know. The point was I was defending, and not coming against them, but then calling them a cult at the same time.
Right.
Bing, 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 bing.
Same way you feel about Hitler.
He's also a cult.
Not such a bad guy.
What was that thing?
Oh, dude. Okay.
It was Jack the Ripper. They're like, Jack the Ripper was a bad guy, but not all of his ideas were bad. Someone said. So
it's like, Hitler, heck of an artist.
Oh yeah, I mean, very commanding. I'm sure, in a way, very charismatic. Had a way with people.
He definitely had a way with people.
Yeah. He
had a way with them.
Yeah, he did away. Well, you'd say did away with them.
I got a new show. I got to tell you about.
Speaker. A show? Okay.
I got a new real quick. Okay, so it's a new game show in Britain, of course, because that's all I fucking talk about.
Right.
It's called I Literally Just Told You.
Okay.
And it's hosted by Jimmy Carr, and basically what it is all of the questions are made up as the show goes on. So they start off by there's 4 contestants that come on. It's hosted by Jimmy Carr. I don't know if I said that, but
you did.
So, okay. 4 contestants come on, and he just they do a little blurb on like who they are, where they're from, how old they are, and stuff like that. And then, so you meet all those people, and it's like, all right, let's start with the questions. And then he immediately asks the first person something about one of the other people's little blurbs, and does that, goes around like that. So they bank money as they go. Then they do these little moneymaker rounds, which are real questions, but all the time they're just bantering and talking and stuff like that. And then there's these 2 people that are off to the side just writing questions as it goes.
Yeah.
And the first episode goes pretty well. The second episode goes off the fucking rails, and Jimmy Carr loses it. And he's like, well, we gave it a shot. We tried really hard to make a good show for you guys, but these contestants were just screwing up the easiest questions possible. And the reason it comes up is because there was a thing about like Hitler came up for some reason during the second episode, and Jimmy Carr was talking about it's I don't remember exactly what happened, but basically Jimmy Carr said how he was a bad man. And so a question came up later in the episode, and the question was worded, which star of World War II did Jimmy describe as a bad person?
Star?
And Jimmy Carr just starts cry laughing.
He's
the star of World War II.
Yeah, I mean, that would qualify.
But it's just the wording of the question was just too good.
Yeah.
And then somebody at one point just gave an epically stupid answer to a question. So that came up later, and it said, in an epically stupid answer, what did blah, blah, blah say about this? You need to watch it. It's funny. The first episode goes pretty as planned. It's still just funny, just how people don't pay it. The whole thing is about paying attention, because literally every answer to every question, you hear it throughout the show, and you just have to be listening and paying attention to what's going on. And that second episode, those people, just nothing. They were just horrible. And it was funny. It was just a breakdown, but check it out. I literally just told you.
I think there were. Oh, I literally just told you.
Yeah, I literally just told you. The first couple episodes, probably the third one now, is up on YouTube as well. But that's where I found it.
I thought there was going to be some kind of New Year's Taskmaster thing that was going to be on, but I didn't check to see if it was out.
Yeah, I didn't look. I thought I saw something about that too. Yeah.
Okay, I literally just told you. I'll check it out.
All right, and that was your British Minute by Matt. All right, moving on. Back to the actual show. I'm gonna add that as a thing. The British Minute. We should probably do that every
episode.
I mean, it comes up
Now
enough.
back to the British minute. Yeah, but you have to do it in a British accent, though.
That will be so racist.
No, it won't.
Offensive.
Okay.
Sorry.
The next holiday.
Yeah, get on to number 2. 28 minutes in. Let's get on to our second part of this.
January 2nd, which that's today,
Today!
Right? Yay. National Personal Trainer Awareness Day.
Like, just be aware that there are personal trainers?
Kinda. I mean, why not? That should be on par with something like Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you know?
Right.
Let's do a personal trainer awareness day.
Make people aware of personal trainers.
Let's make people aware of the horrific tragedy that is personal trainers.
Yeah.
And
have you ever had a personal trainer?
No.
You never,
I mean, unless you count. I was in like strength training class in 7th grade or whatever, or 10th grade or whatever that was.
That's called a gym teacher.
I know, but
it's not the same thing.
It wasn't your typical.
Like you've never had a gym membership where you've gone. Have you ever had a gym membership? First off,
no.
Okay,
no.
So I had a gym membership a while back, and part of the deal is you get a session with a personal trainer.
Oh,
because they want you to how great of a session that was. So then you actually pay to do it. So they always give you a free one.
Yeah,
dude. Like I had never felt so horrible the next day in my life. Like I could not move that next day.
There was where I work, there's a gym on I forget what floor it's on, the second floor, I think. And it's any employee has access to it.
Yeah.
And there's also these classes you can do that they have every once in a while. And I went down there one time there was a couple of times I went before work and I actually did like a 30-minute sort of workout, like on a treadmill or whatever I did before work. But then I went down for one of these classes. It was just like a stretching class. And so they show you all these different ways to stretch. And I cannot bend the way that they wanted me to bend. And I was in pain.
Well, yeah, you gotta keep
work
going.
Your way up to it. Right?
Yeah, you gotta keep going. The more you stretch, it's insane how simple it is to become flexible if you just stretch every damn day.
No, I know. But that class was like once a week, I think, and I think it happened like right as my lunch started, so it was almost impossible for me to get down there, get changed into my gym clothes in the locker room, and get out in time for the class. Because I tried to go there a second time, and they canceled it because no one was there at the time it started. And I'm like, well, I tried. It took me like 5 minutes to get to the elevator, get down, do all the stuff to get in the class. So I gave up after that. But, I'll be, once I'm in an apartment, it'll have a gym, and who knows, maybe I'll use it.
Do that.
They're 24 hours, so.
I mean, my thing about coming into 2022 is I know I need to get back in some sort of a, healthier regimen. Like, this last year has been a shit show for my, physical and mental health all at the same time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. Yeah.
But it's like there's just so much of just pandemic, quarantine, sit at home, stuff my face full of chips. So it's like, nope, I need to start getting back on eating, not necessarily healthier, just smarter. A lot of eating is not about like cutting things out and like you can pretty much eat what the hell you want as long as you're watching how much of it you're intaking. A lot of it's portion control and shit. So I gotta get back on that, and then I need to get back on actually biking and things like this next year. If I don't bike I need to bike every day. So I'm trying to make this be a better, healthier year for me. So when you get an apartment, have that gym, set yourself a schedule and just do it every day, because it's so easy to quit stuff. It's so hard to start it.
Yeah, I know.
Unless it's something bad for you. It's easy to start things that are bad for you, like drinking soda.
And easy to keep on with it.
Oh, yeah, because you're like, oh, that soda tastes delicious. And it's right there.
Have you heard, right after you go to the store and buy it, it put it in your place to live, it's right there.
It's right there. It's easy to access. Bad things are always easy to access, though.
Have you heard of carb cycling?
Possibly.
Well, because I heard this thing, because a lot of people will just eat very low carb stuff to try just cut their fat out, or lose fat, and
but then you flatten out.
You flatten out because your metabolism slows down because you're not getting those carbs. So they say
because your body wants to hold on to it because it's like it's like a starvation mode thing. If you're cutting it out, then your body's like at the beginning, your body's like, dump, 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 and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, hold on,
right, we're not
getting more in. Now we got to hold on to this. Then you plateau. So I already have a plan for that.
The idea is you have a couple days of low or no carbs, and then you have like a high carb day to reset your metabolism back up so that it doesn't plateau off like that. So I know there are very precise ways to do it, where you have it all tracked and you count and you have this and that. I've just been very lazily doing it. And I'm like, okay, this is this is like a no carb day. So I just got to like not eat much carbs today. And then the next 2 days go by and then I'm like, okay, high carb day. I'll have this for breakfast. And so I'm not keeping track of how much I'm taking in. I'm just
right.
But I mean,
so when I lost all that weight, it was like I lost like 70, 80 pounds. And what I was doing was I started carb counting and I was biking a lot.
Yeah.
So calorie counting, I should say, as I was calorie counting, the app I was using, as you'd lose weight, it was like, okay, now it's this many carbs, calories, this many calories. It would keep dropping down. But what I was never factoring in, so I was always hitting below. So basically, I got to the point, say it was like 1,500 calories a day to intake. So I was eating up to, but not exceeding those 1,500. So it was usually always under. But I was also biking a lot, so I was burning about 700 calories a day just in the biking to and from work.
Yeah,
but I was not re-eating back up to my fifth. Like I wasn't factoring that in. So literally I was eating like 1,500 calories, but burning half of that off every day. So I was essentially starving myself.
That's not fun.
But what was weird is like, I was never like hungry or anything like that, but I dropped weight ridiculously fast. So then as soon as I stopped it, I put a bunch of weight back on really quickly as well. So that was the thing. So this time around, I plan on during the week is being more conscious of counting my calories and trying to be within that range. And then on the weekends, I just don't look at it. So Monday through Friday, count my stuff. Saturday, Sunday, do whatever I want. And so I use my Saturdays and Sundays as reset days.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes, because that's also a slippery slope of like, well, the weekend was fun and now I have to not eat awesome anymore.
I know. I'm guilty of that.
Thanks to Personal Trainer Awareness Day,
we had a long discussion about nutrition.
Yep. How do you guys feel about nutrition?
Do you like nutrition?
It sucks. Nobody wants to sit there and every day worry about what their intake and shit is. Everybody if we could all just live freaking gluttonous lives, I'm sure we all would. But
well, you can get to a point where you have an idea of how much food is the amount of calories you're hitting at, and your body gets used to eating less. Because you notice when you're eating less, and then all of a sudden you have a day where you just eat like shit, you feel it.
Feel like garbage. Yeah. But then but if you do it again the next day, then it's like it's easier.
It gets a little easier. Yeah. Then it's
like
the norm.
It takes like no time at all for your stomach to shrink down a little bit after you've started eating more correctly, and then less feeds you faster, and and you feel satisfied. Because my biggest problem right now is with just being home most of the damn time is like, if I keep myself occupied with something, like say I get home from work and I like jump on and I start working on something or doing something, I'm good. I don't even think about food until all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's 8:00. I should probably eat something. Then I'll eat something, and then it's just like snack. Like once I break that seal of eating something, then all I want to do is just sit and eat the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the big breaking point for me of like, all right, I ate what I could eat today. I have to try to satisfy my urge in a different way.
Yeah.
So, hentai porn. No. Don't write that down. Don't write that down.
I just scribbled. I didn't write anything. I don't even really know what that is. But
I got to look that up later.
Oh, yeah. It works for him.
It's basically animated Japanese porn with lots of tentacles. And
that stuff makes no sense to me. I mean,
Have you tried it?
What do you mean tried it? What does trying it mean?
How do you try porn?
Yeah.
Other than like being in it, how do you try it? How do you try? How do you try with not participating, but just how do you try it? In that sense,
have you tried hentai porn? It's delicious.
Yeah,
really does a number on the waistline.
I got that new scratch and sniff internet, and been trying porn lately.
Scratch and sniff internet.
Sniff.
You said
Why
stiff.
I said sniff. Why would I say scratch and stiff?
I don't know, but that's what I heard.
Well, that's not what I said.
I heard a definite T sound after that S.
Well, that is
not. I mean, if you think about it, it's a funny play on words. Because you know,
when you're talking about porn, yeah,
right,
yeah. I mean, I don't know what you're scratching.
The thing you want, the thing that you want to become stiff.
You masturbate weird. I would say wrong. Actually, I would say you masturbate wrong. I'm going to go out there and say that. I would never in my life before this moment say that anybody had masturbated wrong, because if it works for you, it's your way. But if you're scratching yourself to get off, you're doing it wrong.
Now, you just assigned this practice to me like I do this. I was
because I asked, what do you scratch? And you said, I don't know, whatever you want to be stiff. That just seems like you knew what you were going for there.
I'm basing it on the term of scratch and stiff only. Like scratch and then result is stiff.
I mean, you're backpedaling a lot here.
One causes the other. That's all I'm going off of.
One does not cause the other. Scratching does not make things stiff.
Right. In the hypothetical of the term scratch and stiff, I'm like, that's my logical conclusion. Like, what else would it mean?
Not logical.
What else would
it doesn't mean anything because it's not real.
I know, but we have to.
It's like a ghost. It doesn't exist.
I know, but this is what like riffing is. You come up with what it would mean if it was something, and I came up with what I thought it would mean, and then you assign that to what I do in my real life.
Deny it.
Huh?
Deny it.
Oh, I'm denying it.
Prove that you don't do that.
I thought you said tonight.
Prove that.
And I was going to say actually this morning.
No, prove that you don't do it.
Anyone can attest. Anyone who knows me can attest.
Like, pull out your dick right now and show me that it doesn't have any scratch marks on it.
Well, I can't do that. I have a dog.
It's been. What have you been doing with your dog?
Anyway.
Okay, I get it. That's how you can deny that you're not doing it, because you're getting your dog to do it.
Right. January 3rd is Festival of Sleep Day.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. January 4th.
Celebrate sleep.
Now this, I imagine...
Hold on. Before we just bypass... what is it?
Festival of Sleep Day?
Festival of Sleep Day. Couldn't remember the word festival. That to me sounds like a bullshit holiday put on by mattress companies.
Could be.
Yeah, they're just trying to sell mattresses. All right, you can go on now.
Okay, I'm sure that's what it is. Now, when I wrote this list down, it was actually the 2021 holiday list for January. So some of these aren't going to line up because... So this must fall on the first Monday of every January, not January 4th. Gotcha. So this says Monday, January 4th is National Thank God It's Monday Day. But that obviously will fall on a different date this year.
I would assume tomorrow, the 3rd.
Correct. Yeah. So I don't know anyone who's ever said thank God it's Monday in their lives.
That sounds like whoever the people are that represent Monday, they're really trying to push
the Monday committee.
Yeah, they're really trying to, like, everybody says thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
Like, we need Monday's getting a bad rap here. Nobody wants to go back to work.
Yep, Monday's got a stigma. We gotta rid that of people's minds. We need to get people to think positively about Monday. How about we just rip off the Friday saying and apply it to Monday?
But one Monday only. Like, let's not push it. Like, we already know this is going to be hard enough as it is trying to sell this once.
Yeah, let's ease them into it. Let's see how it tracks, and let's get people looking forward to this specific Monday. Right. And then we'll slowly bleed it into the other Mondays.
Yeah. So since we know this is happening, me and you can really try this. We can really try to get up tomorrow morning and be like, yeah, it's Monday. That's great. Everybody listening to this recording
on Tuesday,
you missed it. So sorry. Hopefully you also had a good Monday, but we can actually try to make this happen for ourselves at least. And yeah, that's it on that. Sean is being currently distracted by a child that probably shouldn't be down there right now.
Yeah, and he always wants me to like tell me something or have me tell him something, and I don't know what he's saying, and I'm not going to try to read his lips. All right, January 7th, Old Rock Day.
As in like music or just like a rock?
Well, I would think they would say Classic Rock Day if it was referring to music. So I'm going to say this is, don't push aside all those new rocks.
Do you think all old rock music or rock music from the past is all classic? I mean, what defines it as classic other than just being old? Like, I would think classic rock should be like, these are the classic good hits of the time. Instead, it's just like, no, it all falls under that blanket, even the crap.
Well, I think that, I see. So you're basing it on maybe a group of artists versus a time.
Just something that's classic, like timeless, classic music, just good stuff.
But that's going to be based on everyone's personal opinion, though. Like someone who you might dislike a lot, someone else really loves and would consider them classic. So it has to be a universally agreed upon thing. So I think it falls more into a time period.
Yeah,
like 60s, 70s would maybe be classic rock, and then
what's sad is that more every day or year we move on, more and more songs fall into the classic rock period, and it's getting to the point where 90s music is considered classic.
So, but here's my argument against that. So, the early 90s stuff was grunge, right?
Not all of it, but
a lot of it. So a lot of the popular rock music then was grunge, let's say, right? Or alternative, right?
Right.
Does that just mean that as it ages, it becomes classic rock, or is it the classic rock was a certain defined time period of music that came out at that time, and then 90s music is still grunge or alternative or whatever it was labeled at the time? It doesn't change into classic rock just because it gets older.
Well, think of it like this. There's so many different genres even back in the 60s and 70s, and all of that just ended up becoming called classic rock. It wasn't called classic rock when it came out.
Yeah, you're right. So,
and if you think about it, like rock music from the 90s, grunge, metal, alternative, all that kind of stuff that came out in that time period will eventually be played on classic rock stations.
Which hasn't yet. Has 90 stuff crossed over onto Cool 108?
Oh, God. I don't know about Cool 108. I know shit about that station, but like a lot of the older stations will start playing 90s stuff now because it's old enough.
It's old. It's old.
Yeah.
As much as I don't want
you're looking at 92 is 30 years ago.
Yeah. I just watched this thing it was a doc on the on Woodstock 99 and just how horrendous that was.
And unnecessary.
Unnecessary, right. I get the idea.
They did 94. 94 was like, all right, 25 years, cool. And I think 94 went off pretty well.
I think so. And
99 was unnecessary.
I wish I was just a couple years older, and I wish I would have been able to go to Woodstock 94. I think that would have been
94 would have been cool. Even though still like 96, 97, 98, I think were better years musically.
Yeah.
But
some of the groups they had at Woodstock 99 were just
garbage.
I would have no interest in seeing them whatsoever.
Oh, God, no, yeah. I agree.
And then just how awful the crowd got in reaction to like the water prices and just everything.
What were the water prices? Because I bet if we look at that now, they were pretty cheap.
No, I think it was something like $4.50 for a bottle of water, which is not unheard of these days.
Yeah, no. If $3 is like a deal now at any venue you go to for a bottle of water.
Yeah, but this was back in 99, a gallon of gas was still well under $2.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I forget when bottled water became a pretty mainstream thing where the concept of even buying water was
I remember that happening. Because I think, bottled water, I have to see when bottled water actually started coming out. But then when it became super popular, people were just like, who would buy water?
Right. I have a faucet.
It's so stupid. Who would buy water? And it's just like, everybody buys water now.
Oh, yeah. The thought of drinking water from your faucet is gross.
Like, what kind of a country are, like, all of the big main developed countries in the world And you just look at all these countries that have issues getting water, and we're just like, I can just buy some right over here. I buy water. Like I know like these people would be like, I would give anything for water, and be like, we just throw it away. This water's old.
Not only do we buy water, we also have unlimited access to it in our homes.
So we pour it on our yards.
Yeah.
we have systems in the ground that will water the grass.
Yeah.
We have so much water, we're just giving it away to the plants.
We're not charging the plants.
Yeah, we're just throwing it everywhere.
Okay. So Old Rock Day.
Yeah. What was that about again?
I don't know. We started talking about classic music. So yeah, I think it's about rocks. Probably, like celebrating those old rocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where do you keep your old rocks?
I pawned them years ago.
You pawned them?
Yeah, I don't have any old rocks anymore.
Can't imagine you got very much for them.
It was not the right time to pawn rocks.
No,
market
was flooded.
Yeah, the market was
flooded with rocks.
Okay, we're not very far into the month of January.
No, of course not.
And we're almost an hour in.
Yeah, well,
so I might just cherry pick a few of these.
Yeah, I'm sure people don't care.
Yeah,
if we don't cover every holiday,
hear all of them. But the thing is, folks, I didn't even note all of them down. There are plenty of holidays that I didn't even put on this list.
Yeah.
You
just grabbed the ones that seemed most interesting.
Yeah. National Oysters Rockefeller Day is January 10th, but also National Save the Eagles Day.
Okay. Well, I guess those two don't coincide so much. I mean, you can eat as many Oysters Rockefeller as you'd like without endangering eagles in any way.
What is Oysters Rockefeller? Is it just like a way to
100%? I think it's just a style.
A way to serve oysters?
I think so.
Or prepare them anyway. So maybe had I known that, maybe I wouldn't have pulled that day off the list because it would have been less interesting to me.
I'm going to look it up real quick. I mean, Rockefeller, you assume rich. Yeah, I think it's a style of it's a recipe. So it's a specific way to prepare an oyster.
All right. Well, ignorance is bliss in that one. I would if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have.
I just remembered something that I had to tell you about. So
you want to tell me now?
Sorry.
Or do you want to wait?
Yes. Tangent. Sorry, we're gonna get off the holidays again. So this made me feel so stupid, and this is why I had to say it because I literally felt like such an idiot after I did it. But I feel like it's kind of the way things. It's probably going to happen more to more people in the future who just can't comprehend why you can't do this.
Okay.
So I got a little flyer in the mail the other day for this house nearby that's for sale. And it's a potential, you could potentially live in it and rent out the upstairs, rent out the basement. It's basically split into 3 separate apartments.
Gotcha.
So you can just buy it and then just use it as a rental property fully if you choose to. So there's a couple little pictures of, I think, the main floor of the house. And it's like, oh yeah, it's nice looking. The house has a nice backyard. It's got some nice curb appeal. And then it's got this, nice big kitchen. And I was looking at it and I'm like, oh, the only thing that looks really stupid is there was a paper towel roll holder right above the sink, which I think is a weird place for it, for one. Yeah. But it was also attached to the molding of the window. It wasn't attached to the side of the cabinet. They screwed it into the molding of the window, which I thought was really weird. I'm like, why would you screw something into the frame, window molding? Yeah. I'm like, it looks stupid. And I wanted to get a closer look at it. So what did I stupidly do, Sean?
You were on
this piece of paper. I grabbed the piece of paper and I tried to pinch zoom on the piece of paper. And the second I did it, I was so pissed off at myself. I'm like, I did not just fucking do that. And I literally, Iman was sitting right next to me, and I literally had to tell her that I did that because I'm like, you have no idea what I just did. I'm like, I wanted to get a closer look at this right now. And she said she did the same realization. She's like, you just pinch zoomed it, didn't you? I'm like, yep. I felt like such an idiot. I'm like, I have to tell Sean on the podcast about how stupid that was. But then it got me thinking, future, going down the road, people come across a photo of something. They're going
to change the way you photo in the future.
Yep. They'll be like, "What is this photo?" Not my photo.
Enlarge the photo.
But I feel like that's something people might do because they just won't understand that you can't do that. Because I feel like picture, if somebody's going to put a picture up on their wall at some point in life, it'll probably be on some sort of digital display that you can like do whatever with or change it here and there. I mean, they've had digital picture frames for years and stuff.
I had one years. And years.
We did too years ago. Just put a little SD card in it. You can just have it flip through different pictures and stuff. But
yeah,
I'm feeling that sometime in the future, all photos will be able to be like pinch zoomed in. So if somebody comes across old photos, they'll try to do that and not understand why the technology isn't working. Like, this one's broken,
I mean, I've my computer is not a touch screen. I have touched the screen.
I've done that too
to try to do something to it. Yeah,
because one of our laptops is a touch screen, and then the other two aren't. So I've done that before as well. I'm just like, damn it. Knowing that I'm on the computer that doesn't have a touch screen, and I've still done it.
Well,
but yeah. So that was my really stupid moment from the last couple of weeks since we've recorded.
That is awesome.
I'm glad I remembered to say that because otherwise I would have got off the call and then been like, damn it, got to remember in another week. All right, sorry. Back to the holidays. Oysters Rockefeller and whatever the other one was.
Save the Eagles.
Save the Eagles.
Okay,
the football team.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Although, didn't they almost win the Super Bowl not that long ago, or am I wrong?
You are asking the wrong person.
Okay, January 11th, National Step in the Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day.
I remember that. Everybody gathering around the local puddle.
Yes, but in a lot of parts of the country, it would not be an unfrozen. Like it's frozen. If there's the puddle,
there would be a lot of frozen puddles. Or, I mean, this is just a national holiday. This isn't a world holiday. Okay, I was going to say, because there's a lot of places in the world that wouldn't even have puddles.
Right.
As we discussed earlier, we're just throwing water away. I mean,
that's what other countries are jealous of us for, is being able to celebrate National Step in the Puddle Day.
I mean, it could be an indoor puddle.
It could be. Yeah.
Do you think the puddle is referring to the universal country? The whole country's puddle, the one puddle, the whole country has to go.
That's what I was wondering.
Or is it like each community has their own puddle?
How could you effectively celebrate it each year if it was one centralized, national puddle that you have to visit? Because that's going to be very
big. And how big would that puddle have to be to the point where it's no longer a puddle?
Yeah,
to be able to have everybody celebrate.
I forget. I think we had this conversation before about when does a pond become a lake versus all this other stuff. Yeah, it has to get to a point where it's eventually just a man-made lake.
Yeah. Maybe if it's only like an inch deep or something, it can probably be, in that sense, I think it would still be considered a puddle.
Because I think part of what qualified a lake or a pond is the depth, if not just
I think it's area. Depth and area, yeah.
So, but then anyone who's local to the puddle just takes it for granted and is not impressed by it, pays no attention. This is a puddle, whatever.
There's like fucking puddle. Every day I have to drive around the puddle to get to work.
Yeah. Because you can't drive through the puddle.
It's a landmark.
Landmark.
Yeah. Like they put this giant puddle in town and it really screwed traffic up.
Yeah. Right in the middle of Main Street.
Why couldn't they elevate the puddle above the roads?
Well, then it wouldn't be a puddle, right?
It would just be rainfall.
It would just be it's in a constant state of raining, but it never touches the ground. All right. Matt, you're gonna look forward to Kiss a Ginger Day, which is January 12th.
All right. I'm putting it out there right now, everybody.
Yep.
January 12th. Come at it, guy.
Get out, put it on your profile, all your profiles on your apps, Matt.
Yeah.
Get yourself some action on January 12th.
Yeah. Let's do this. If anybody could use some ginger kisses, I don't know what you call it.
Sounds like a type of cookie. Like a kiss holiday snack. Get your ginger kisses.
Yeah, like a ginger snap. It's like a ginger snap. It's a ginger snap with a Hershey kiss on it.
I just baked some fresh ginger kisses.
Yeah.
And boy, are they pale. 15th of January. I'm not sure what this is. I didn't look it up, of course. National Booch Day. BOOCH.
What is a booch?
What is a booch?
Looking up what a booch is. The booch method. Now, I don't think it would be the boot. There's booch tea. There's a boot. Is booch an alcohol? Is a question. Oh, maybe like kombucha.
Oh, I've heard of that.
All about the booch. Yeah, I think it's kombucha. Maybe is what it's referring to.
I wonder why it wouldn't just be like National Kombucha Day then.
Because it's not as fun to say.
Have you ever had kombucha?
I have not that I'm aware of.
Neither have I. Is it sort of like a tea type of a drink? Am I wrong?
It's a fermented beverage.
Oh, okay. So it's beer.
Yep, there you go.
So it's beer. All right. This is scary. I'm not sure. National Without a Scalpel Day is January 16th.
So can they not perform surgeries on that day ever? Or they have to do it without
a scalpel.
Somebody hand me that kitchen knife.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine somebody having to use scissors to cut into to do a surgery on you? Like,
well, I mean, we're looking at like, Civil War surgery. Like,
they had knives.
Well, right, but sometimes they use saws. Like they use.
Well, they still use saws.
Sure. All I'm saying is back then you had to sometimes work with what you had.
Like they had less saws.
They had less saws.
There was a scalpel shortage during the Civil War.
The 1860s.
They were using all this. They were using all the steel to make the musket balls.
Yep.
All those muskets they were still using during the Civil War.
Didn't they use muskets? What did they use in the Civil War? Was it muskets? Or was it? Were they up to something else by then?
They had rifles. There's probably still muskets too, but
probably.
Yeah.
Okay. January 16th is also Nothing Day, so that's
just
fun.
Nothing Day.
Nothing Day, not National Nothing Day. Not just says Nothing Day. 16th. Oh,
seems like they could have just left that blank.
I know,
and it would have been the same representation.
The funny thing is, I already have 2 other holidays on that day, so it kind of is impossible for it to be Nothing Day if there are other things to celebrate on that day.
Right.
So the other one is National Religious Freedom Day on the 16th of January.
Okay.
So forget every other day of the year.
Right. You don't have religious freedom any other day of the year.
Another one I wrote down because I didn't know what the word meant is the 19th of January is World Quark Day. Q-U-A-R-K. World Quark Day, not national.
People also ask, what exactly is a quark? It's a particle. The type of elementary particle and fundamental constitute what? Yeah, I don't know. It's some sort of a particle.
Huh.
Quark.
Well, 19th, celebrate quark, the particle.
It's also a cheese.
Quark is a cheese, so I wonder if this is celebrating that type of cheese.
Cheese elements.
Is
cheese particles.
Is that type of cheese made up of quark particles?
I don't know.
We don't need to know. This is done. The 25th of January is opposite day. Listed there as a holiday, opposite day. 26th, plan for vacation day. So that's the day you plan
for vacation for like the whole year. Like have to plan all your year's vacations.
Yeah, of which I usually have 0. So I'm pretty laid back on plan for vacation day.
That day to me is the actual nothing.
Right. Yeah, that is Nothing Day. January 27th, Library Shelfie Day.
Shelfie Day? Is that where you take a picture of yourself with a shelf?
I don't know. A long time ago, I lamely took a picture of an empty shelf and posted a shelfie. I don't remember if it was on the 26th or the 27th of January or not, but I did. The 29th, National Have Fun at Work Day.
The 29th?
Yeah. But again, this is a Friday, so I'm guessing it must fall on maybe that particular Friday.
I was going to say, I'm like, it's that falls on a Saturday this year, so I do not plan to do that.
So it must be the 28th this year is National Have Fun at Work Day. Be miserable the rest of the year.
Speaking of taking a shelfie, I think one time I took a picture of a mirror without me in it. I think I called it a selflessy or something like that.
Okay.
It was something along those lines. I feel like what I called it was more clever than that, but I can't remember what I called it.
Now you're going to look back and find it and learn that you called it a selflessy. Like you didn't come up with something more clever than that.
Well, one, I'm not going to look for it. And I mean, I could have easily called it a selflessy. I don't know.
Yeah. I did a shelfie, so that's less clever than what you did. Even if you called it a selfless E. That's hard to say.
Yeah.
I might save the last So I'll go with the last one, and then I'll go with the next one before that to end this because it's a little more interesting.
Okay.
So the 31st National Inspire Your Heart with Art Day.
Okay, so what's weird about that? How do you inspire your own heart? Like,
just look at art.
Yeah, but like, it's not like you can like if I were to try to inspire you, I would be like coming to you and like doing something or like saying something like, yeah. If you're already looking at the art, you can't then be like, all right, heart, look at that. Take a look. Let's get inspired. It's like you're instantly inspiring yourself. Otherwise, like you can't really inspire yourself like that.
I think the aim is to just say, look at some art.
Yeah.
And then which will result in your heart being inspired. So they're just saying, hey, on this day, look at some art.
Yeah.
For the purpose of inspiration.
So let's call it National Look at Some Art Day.
Yeah. All right, I'll change it.
Yep. Let's get on the phone.
All right, so this one is open.
Get on the wire.
This last one here is an open to interpretation.
They all are.
I know, but this one could go a lot of ways.
Okay.
January 30th, National Seed Swap Day.
That could go, that could go two ways.
Right?
It could go one way.
Only two.
Or it could go the other way.
You're saying it could go both ways, maybe?
It could maybe. Well, I mean, so if you're going obviously it's probably a farmer thing. Like
Farmer's
I got some
type of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some broccoli seeds. I don't know if you have it seems weird to say. Doesn't sound right?
I don't know if there are broccoli seeds.
Well, the plant that broccoli grows on has to have a seed.
You're right, but I'm picturing like, hard dried seeds.
Right.
I just don't picture.
That's why I felt weird saying broccoli seeds. I'm like, it kind of has to technically be right?
Yeah, I mean, when have you ever seen a bag of broccoli seeds you can pick up?
Yeah,
at the store. They'd probably more likely be in one of those little bags like you find at a nursery that you have flower seeds like for pot planting and stuff.
Yeah, so, a plant nursery, not like a people nursery.
A baby, right? Yeah,
baby seeds,
animal nursery.
But if you're going along the sexual seed route,
I would want to combine it with that sense. I would want to combine it with bathtub party day then.
Yeah, but how do you swap? I mean, I know how you do it. I know how, like, hypothetically, I know how, like, you and I could swap seed. Like,
it does say singular. It doesn't pluralize.
How
seed.
You can't really? Can you swap seeds with a female? Do females have seed? No,
they have eggs.
So it has to be only guys.
Yeah. So does this mean like, my this is going to be really weird, but is it just the exchange?
Right. It doesn't have to be. It could be like I could give it to you in a Tupperware. I don't have to like.
No, but or is it like, hey, let's get my barrel loaded with your. Let's get my my chamber loaded with your. I forgot gun terminology.
Like a blood transfusion.
Let's get my chamber loaded with your seed, so that
we're gonna do a seed transfusion.
Yeah, it's like we'll call it seed. I mean,
I guess that's a way. Like, that'd be a crazy way to be able to get away with, getting somebody pregnant and then having it not be your kid.
Right.
Be like,
yeah,
sorry, I'm part of a seed exchange program, and you got caught in the middle of it.
It could be a sequel to a Nick Cage and
a sequel.
A sequel to a Nick Cage and what's this dude's name, and call it Seed Off.
John Travolta.
Travolta. Yep.
This torments me hard right now.
So if we're gonna do that one way, that means that your chamber would need to be outfitted with.
I don't think I like you calling it my chamber.
We need to be outfitted with my seed.
It doesn't have to be a 1-for-1. It could be like a Hands Across America situation. We can just keep passing it down the line.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But it would only be compatible if they were the same caliber, is the problem. If we're sticking along with the gun analogy,
Are you saying that my seed chamber has to be the same size as your seed chamber? Or the whole works has to be the same?
I would say
we have to compare our weaponry.
The barrel?
The barrel and
stock.
Yeah, make sure it's the same caliber.
I think. Well, the barrel has to be able to accommodate the right caliber of bullet.
How big do you think these bullets are?
Well, we're talking about seed here. It's
Microscopic. Right.
I don't think there is a seed in the world you couldn't exchange with another person in that sense. I'm going to go on the record and say that.
Yeah.
There ain't a seed in the world you can't exchange with another man.
So Matt's going on the record. There isn't a seed in the world that he wouldn't exchange with another man.
Not that I wouldn't, that I couldn't. Very important that it was a W, not a C.
Is that a challenge then? Are you challenging others to that?
To exchange seed with me?
Like, yeah, to
You're the one who's talking about a seed transfusion. I was talking about just we don't have to do it that way.
Well, what are we doing then?
We could just I could give it to you as a present.
But what am I going to do?
In a Tupperware.
But what? It's already useless.
In the fridge.
No, it's useless at that point. What am I going to do with it?
You cook? I don't know.
It's just
first thing that came out of my mouth.
Yeah. Oh, gross. That's the first thing that came out of your mouth, huh? Your seed? First thing.
All right, fuck it. I'm not even going to put it in a Tupperware, Sean. I'm just going to blast it all. Why are we doing this?
You did it.
No, I did not. We are both guilty.
Well, the thing is, that's a useless gift if you're just going to hand it to me in a Tupperware. I can't do anything with that.
I mean, that's your choice. There's plenty of people that could do things with it.
But maybe outside of its typical, outside of its intended use or function, yeah.
Okay.
See,
you're already coming up with ideas.
Sure, you sort of use it as sort of like a rubber cement type of a thing to keep your cards closed.
Yeah, paper mache.
Yeah. Or I need to recock my bathtub.
Yeah, or this meal is undersalted.
Now, so when you're talking about using it for cooking, are you talking about like a flavor additive, or say the equivalent to adding butter to a pan so that something doesn't stick?
I don't think that would work for that.
No, it would have probably the opposite effect.
Yeah.
Like, we need to assemble this gingerbread house.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is so... Why?
Well,
why do we go here?
I ended on National Seed Swap Day knowing that it would inspire some interesting topics, interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And it has.
It has.
So that's how we're going to kick off 2022.
Apparently.
Good old seed swap.
I'm at a loss for words, which is so rare for me.
Bye.
Bye.
We are on TikTok now, which makes us even cooler. HS Famous. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HS Famous Pod. Email us directly at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. We have Patreon too, but you'll never go there. Altogether, our hearts beat as one.